When darkness settles over forests and cities alike, a quiet transformation takes place in the natural world. As daytime animals retreat to nests and shelters, another group of creatures begins to stir. Among the most adaptable of these nighttime wanderers is the possum, a small but remarkably resilient mammal that has mastered the art of surviving in both wild landscapes and human environments. Possums belong to a group of mammals known as marsupials, a lineage most commonly associated with animals from Australia such as kangaroos and koalas. Like these relatives, possums give birth to extremely underdeveloped young that continue the growth inside a pouch on the mother's body. This reproductive strategy is one of the defining characteristics of marsupials and has shaped the evolution of possums for millions of years. The story of possums begins deep in the prehistoric past when early marsupials spread across ancient continents that were once connected. Fossil evidence suggests that ancestors of modern possums appeared tens of millions of years ago, adapting gradually to life in trees and dense vegetation. Over time, these animals evolved features that allowed them to navigate the vertical world of branches with remarkable skill. One of the most important adaptations possessed by many possum species is the prehensile tail. Unlike the tails of most mammals, which function primarily for balance or communication, the possum's tail can grip and wrap around branches. This ability provides additional stability while climbing and allows the animal to move confidently through the canopy even in darkness. The body structure of the possum reflects its arboreal lifestyle. Strong curved claws help it grasp bark and branches, while flexible limbs allow for careful climbing movements. Its large eyes are perfectly adapted to low light conditions, capturing even faint traces of moonlight or starlight filtering through leaves. Because possums are primarily nocturnal, their senses have evolved to function efficiently in darkness. Their eyesight is sensitive to dim light, but their hearing and sense of smell are equally important. A possum can detect subtle sounds of insects moving in leaves or the distant approach of a predator. Its whiskers, highly sensitive to touch, provide additional information about surrounding objects as it navigates narrow branches. Despite their small size, possums possess an impressive degree of adaptability when it comes to diet. They are omnivorous animals, capable of eating a wide range of foods depending on what is available in their environment. Leaves, fruit, flowers, insects, bird eggs, and even small animals may all form part of a possum's diet. This dietary flexibility is one of the reasons possums have been able to survive in such diverse habitats. In forests, they may feed heavily on leaves and fruit from native trees. In urban areas, they often take advantage of gardens, garbage bins, or pet food left outdoors. Their ability to adjust quickly to new food sources has allowed them to expand into environments where many other species struggle. Possums also display remarkable climbing ability. Watching one move through trees reveals a quiet confidence built from countless nights of exploration. Each step is careful but efficient, claws gripping bark while the tail often acts as a stabilizing anchor. This three-point contact system allows possums to navigate complex branches without falling even when moving quickly. Although they are excellent climbers, possums are not limited to life in trees. Many species travel along the ground when necessary, especially when searching for food or moving between trees. However, they generally prefer elevated routes where predators are less likely to attack. Predators of possums vary depending on location. Owls, snakes, foxes, and large carnivorous mammals may all attempt to hunt them. In response, possums rely on a combination of camouflage, quick climbing, and in some species a famous defensive behavior known as playing dead. This behavior is particularly associated with the American opossum, a close relative of possums found in Australia. When faced with extreme danger, the opossum may collapse into a motionless state that resembles death. Its body becomes limp, its mouth hangs open, and it may emit a foul odor that discourages predators from continuing the attack. Although the behavior appears dramatic, it is actually an involuntary response triggered by extreme stress. Many predators lose interest in prey that appears dead or diseased, giving the opossum an opportunity to survive once the threat has passed. Possums themselves are generally solitary animals. Individuals maintain territories that may overlap with others but typically forage alone during the night. Communication between possums occurs through scent marking, vocal sounds, and occasional physical displays during breeding seasons. Shelter during daylight hours is an essential aspect of possum survival. Hollow trees, rock crevices, dense vegetation, and even roof spaces in human buildings may serve as resting places. Inside these shelters, possums spend most of the day sleeping, conserving energy for the active night ahead. Yet the possum story extends beyond simple survival. Through their feeding habits and movements across landscapes, these animals contribute quietly to the functioning of ecosystems. As they consume fruits and berries, they disperse seeds through the droppings, helping plants spread to new locations. By feeding on insects, they also influence local insect populations. Even in cities, possums continue to perform ecological roles that are often unnoticed. Gardens visited by possums may experience natural pest control as insects and small invertebrates become part of the possum's diet. But perhaps the most fascinating aspect of possum life lies in the intimate relationship between mother and offspring, a process shaped by the unique reproductive biology of marsupials. The reproductive strategy of possums reveals one of the most fascinating aspects of marsupial biology. Unlike most mammals, possums give birth to extremely tiny and underdeveloped young after a very short pregnancy. At birth, the newborn, often called a joey, is only about the size of a jelly bean. Blind, hairless, and fragile, it must immediately begin a remarkable journey. Instinct guides the newborn as it crawls through the mother's fur toward her pouch. This tiny movement is one of nature's most incredible survival challenges. Once inside the pouch, the joey attaches itself to a teat, where it will remain for several weeks while continuing to grow and develop. Inside the pouch, the joey receives warmth, nourishment, and protection during the most vulnerable stage of its life. Over time, its eyes open, its fur begins to grow, and its limbs strengthen. Eventually, the young possum becomes curious about the outside world and begins to peek out from the safety of the pouch. As the joey grows larger, it begins riding on its mother's back. This stage is both practical and educational. By traveling with the mother, the young possum learns the routes through trees, the locations of food sources, and the sounds and scents that signal danger. These early experiences prepare it for the independent life that awaits. Possums may appear quiet and solitary, but they possess a surprising range of communication behaviors. They produce hisses, growls, clicking sounds, and even sharp screeches during confrontations. These vocalizations help warn rivals or defend territory without the need for physical fights that could cause injury. Scent communication also plays a crucial role. Possums mark branches and pathways using scent glands that signal their presence to others. These invisible chemical messages allow possums to recognize territories and avoid unnecessary conflicts. One of the most remarkable characteristics of possums is their ability to adapt to environments altered by human activity. While many animals struggle when forests are cleared or urban areas expand, possums often adjust successfully. Cities and suburbs can provide shelter in roof spaces, sheds, and gardens, while fruit trees and discarded food offer new feeding opportunities. This adaptability has earned possums a reputation as survivors. In some regions, they have become one of the most commonly encountered wild mammals living close to human communities. Though sometimes viewed as pests, their presence also reflects an animal capable of adjusting to the rapidly changing world created by humans. In ecosystems where possums live naturally, they contribute quietly but meaningfully to ecological balance. As they feed on fruits and berries, they spread plant seeds across wide areas. Seeds that pass through the digestive system often germinate more effectively, helping forests regenerate. Their diet of insects also plays a role in controlling certain pest populations. By consuming beetles, caterpillars, and other small invertebrates, possums help maintain a balance that benefits plant life and agricultural areas alike. Possums themselves are an important link in food chains. Although they possess defensive behaviors and climbing skills, they still serve as prey for larger predators such as owls, foxes, snakes, and wild cats. This predator-prey relationship helps maintain natural balance within ecosystems. Despite their resilience, possums face challenges in the modern world. Habitat loss remains one of the most significant threats. When forests are cleared for agriculture, roads, or urban development, possums may lose the hollow trees and dense vegetation they depend on for shelter. Road traffic is another major risk. Because possums are nocturnal and often move slowly across roads at night, they are vulnerable to vehicle collisions. These accidents can significantly affect local populations, especially in areas where suitable habitat is already limited. Conservation efforts that protect forests, maintain tree corridors, and preserve natural habitats benefit possums as well as countless other species. Even simple actions such as leaving old trees standing can provide essential nesting sites for possums and other wildlife. Beyond their ecological importance, possums have also appeared in cultural traditions and stories across the regions where they live. Indigenous communities in Australia, for example, have long recognized possums as part of their landscapes and traditions. Possum fur cloaks were historically used for warmth and ceremonial purposes, representing both practical craftsmanship and cultural identity. Today, possums continue to inspire curiosity among scientists and wildlife enthusiasts. Researchers study their behavior, diet, and adaptability to better understand how animals survive in environments shaped by human activity. Watching a possum in the wild can be a surprisingly magical experience. Under the soft glow of moonlight, the animal moves quietly along branches, its large eyes reflecting the light like small mirrors in the darkness. Each movement is cautious but confident, a result of countless generations of adaptation. In that silent nighttime world, the possum becomes a symbol of resilience. It survives not through speed or strength, but through flexibility, intelligence, and patience. These qualities allow it to endure in forests, farmland, and cities alike. As dawn approaches and the sky begins to brighten, the possum's night of activity comes to an end. The animal returns to its hidden shelter, perhaps a hollow tree, a dense patch of foliage, or even a quiet corner of a rooftop. There it curls into rest, waiting for darkness to return once more. When night falls again, the possum will emerge to continue its quiet role in the natural world. Moving through branches and shadows, it remains one of nature's most adaptable survivors, a small nocturnal mammal whose story is woven into forests, ecosystems, and the ever-changing landscapes of our planet.